And Nicole, both of you guys touched on Quebec having its own pension plan, and it seems to be working out okay for them. So why would it not then work out for Alberta? Like, I think that Quebec does. I was just talking with Colin Krieger. He's the leader of the Maverick Party a couple of weeks ago, and we were just chatting a little bit about how Quebec does a lot of things right, and they certainly do a lot of things right by their own people. I'm sure we can have our complaints about them as well, but there's some lessons to be learned there. Can you guys touch on that a little bit? How Quebec has made a success of this?
Well, I think Quebec is very much about Quebec and having, and Tanner, you can fill me in if I miss anything, but I think Quebec really has an advantage where they're like, this is what we want to do. We want to improve the economic resources of Quebec and bring money home to Quebec. And so when they did the pension plan, while it might not be something that's gaining them a lot of funds for a pension per se, as in returns from investments, they're looking at building up their economy. And I think that the idea was really, really well thought through, but they didn't think through when their seniors now get to an age where they're no longer working and they still need people coming in, because they do have a population that is aging versus something where we're in Alberta, where our population sort of cycles through the young, and we always have the younger population working. And while we still have our seniors here, we still have that population working to help us pay for our seniors. So I think that's the thing that we could look at from Quebec's pension plan and say, hey, the model, while not completely effective, we can definitely learn from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think
sorry, go ahead.
Nicole's exactly right. I would maybe, if I were in charge of a pension plan, I'd maybe structure it differently than Quebec has, because Nicole's right. They don't maximize profit. That isn't their goal. Rather, their goal is to, at least in part, help spark Quebec industry. But nevertheless, I think it's a marvelous example of how a province can have its own pension plan and be successful with it. And two, it's an example of how Quebec understands the principle of autonomy, right? I think there are economic benefits to an APP, numerous economic benefits to an APP, absolutely. But there are also autonomous benefits. That is, it releases a lot of leverage that the federal bureaucracy holds over Alberta right now and returns it to Alberta. And that, to me, in itself is an advantage that we should exercise.